Kind of the same, except the only difference is we have a reverse acting stat. 80 degrees in the room, 0 pounds. Is that good or bad?
It's good.
Is the thermostat, as far as the thermostat's concerned, what's up?
That's not cool.
Increase in temperature, decrease in pressure, well, it's 0 pounds. That's probably, okay, I'm not going to the thermostat on this one right off the bat. I'm going to see what the heck else is going on. This one could be an airflow issue, or a damper stuck in the closed position. This one we determined was not a thermostat issue at the moment, until we figure out how come we're overheating. What's going on here? Is this damper closed for some reason? And the only reason why it would be closed if we had 0 pounds pressure is either the gauge is bad, or that actuator is, the linkages are broken or stuck or needs a
But
WD-40.
it says 0, the lower the number, the wider it is, so it fails open.
This one fails open. Normally open, it fails open.
Yeah.
So this should be, in a normal system like this should be like 55 degrees
Pretty
here,
wide
55
open.
degrees going in that space. You could have a hot deck issue that's not working right over back in the system. The point here is that, yes, something's definitely wrong, but in this case, it's not here yet. And assuming your gauge is good, it's not there. So, we don't want any pressure on this actuator. So either this actuator froze in the closed position, or we have 0 airflow, or we have airflow that's inappropriate for the condition. Like we have, 80 degree air going into this space instead of 55. Could be all the way back to the economizer. A lot of these times you just got to work your way forward. You got to work your way back to the system to see what's going on. Okay. And troubleshooting D. I don't remember this one. Again, it's a direct acting. It's for 72. Okay, would you suspect something's wrong with that?
That tells me, just by looking at those numbers, I'm going to say that the heating valve is probably stuck open.
Yeah, we either have too hot of air going through here, or we got heat being introduced here. This is a direct acting thermostat. So at a direct acting thermostat, as the temperature goes up, the pressure goes up. We have 20 pounds out of that bad boy. So we got 20 pounds going to this heating valve. So either this heating valve is not working properly, or we have air that's not going through properly. We're not ventilating properly. Okay, and finally, what's wrong with calibrating a thermostat like that? Yeah, you're affecting the calibration point because your hand is affecting. Anybody put their hands, notice like a 2 to 3 pound difference when you put your hand by the staff when you're calibrating last week? Yeah, I mean it's pretty substantial. And you got the radiant heat of your body also, because when you're doing this, it's best to stand back. Your breath as you're breathing on it. Okay, and then you got the air compressor. We just did the whole term really fast. I really think you guys are going to do okay. Most important, we could go through, we did have a little bit of issue on the air compressor side. I don't remember what it was. I had in my notes to go over chapter 8, to review chapter 8. I can't remember why. I'm really trying to get you all out of here. So I can stay here all night, though. So whoever wants to stay can stay. Whoever wants to leave can leave. Please, if you leave, go ahead and put your homework up here at the front table somewhere. If you want to stay, I'm going to go through chapter 8 and 9 review questions. And if you all leave, I don't care. If you want to stay, it's great too.
I'm going to stay. Midterms next week, so I'm going to stay.
So, if we don't have the homework for chapter 10, can I bring it in next Monday?
Spanking wheel.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go through chapter 8 and 9. Okay. The reason is I just noticed a kind of a trend of people missing things. Okay, a compressor is a component that takes air from the atmosphere and compresses it to increase its pressure.
True.
Very true. Oil carryover is lubricating oil that leaks by the piston rings and is carried into the compressed air system.
True.
Okay. A desiccant air dryer is commonly located in a metal housing at the intake of an air compressor.
False.
True. False.
That's false.
A desiccant filter is placed in the compressed air side of the system. It's not.
It's not on the intake.
It's not on the intake. It's on the out. It's on the pressurized air. So a desiccant system takes that compressed air and dries it out and then sends it down its way. Okay? It doesn't try to dry it beforehand, although I suppose that may be one way to do it. An automatic drain is a device that opens and closes automatically at a predetermined interval to drain moisture from the receiver.
That's true.
That's true. Okay, number 5. A compressor alternator is a pressure switch that determines which compressor is the primary lead compressor and which one is the backup leg compressor.
True.
False, I think.
That's false. That's a lead leg system.
Yeah.
Okay?
I guess I better correct that.
The next question is, a lead leg switch is a device that operates one compressor during one pumping cycle and the other compressor during the next pumping cycle.
And that's true.
False.
That's false.
What
Okay,
the-
so a lead leg is
Oh,
one
basically-
compressor is always the lead.
That's a
and
manual.
the other compressor is always the leg. So one compressor has its set point from 70 to 90, and the other compressor has its set point from 50 to 70. Okay, so one of them is, you know, that one is a 50, let's say 70 to 90. That one cycles all the time. That's your primary. If it ever goes down farther below 50, then that secondary leg is going to come on and catch up with it. It's like a backup. An alternator one is one where it goes back and forth between the compressors to even out.
I said true and I wrote false on it. I know that because the lead lag switch is a manual switch. It's not automatic.
No, lead leg is automatic.
The
It
switch?
can be automatic, absolutely.
Well, yeah, you could. We had
you have
manual.
your pressure switches. You have the one pressure switch set for one compressor. The other pressure switch set for another pressure compressor.
Yeah, we didn't have it that way. We had manual, lead lag, and every month we go up there and switch them.
Oh, you can have a lead leg switch that switches which one is the lead and which one's the leg. But yeah, you're right. That one's a manual switch.
Yeah, that's what we had.
But the lead leg system is one's higher, one's lower. The alternating is left, right, left, left, right, left. You know, it just goes back and forth. Okay, a screw compressor uses a pair of rotating interlocking helical gears to compress air.
That is true.
I think so. A dynamic compressor uses centrifugal force to compress air.
False.
That's false. It's kind of a tricky one. That's one of the ones I wouldn't use. Because a centrifugal pump is a dynamic compressor, but not all dynamic compressors are centrifugals. You also have axials. Okay. If a compressed... It's false. If compressed air that contains moisture is exposed to low outside air temperatures, airlines may freeze and split.
That is definitely true.
That's absolutely true. You have to really look out for that sometimes. Air filters convert the mechanical energy provided by an electric motor to the potential energy of compressed air.
That's totally false.
Okay, that's one of those questions that you got wrong.
Really?
Go back to first grade. Okay. What kind of filter is a device that removes oil droplets from a pneumatic system by forcing compressed air to change direction quickly?
Oil removal.
Oil removal. Or what's another word for oil removal? Coalescing.
Yeah, I was going to say coalescing.
Okay, what kind of dryer is a device that uses refrigeration to lower the temperature of the compressed air?
That would be refrigerated air dryer.
Refrigerated air dryer. And in general, air compressors should use what kind of oil?
Synthetic.
Non-detergent.
Non-detergent. I don't know what the book
I
says.
don't think they actually, do they make synthetic, if you buy the actual compressor oil? I don't think they make it synthetic.
You know what? I'm going to try something
Yeah, it's in the booth. It's
here. Question number 30.
Yeah, in the book it says non-detergent.
Yeah.
But
All right.
I'm thinking if you buy an actual compressor oil, I don't think they make compressor oil and detergent or synthetic. I think it's just non-detergent. But I'm not 100%. If you go and you actually buy the compressor oil.
Some compressors, actually, in the bigger industrial stuff, do have some filters. The stuff we deal with won't.
Yeah. Well, the ones they had at Service Steel, they did, but they were 150 horsepower screw compressors, and they had an air filtration system and an oil pump and all this crap all over it. But normally compressors don't have that.
No, not at all. Okay, what kind of compressor is a positive displacement compressor that has multiple vanes located on an offset rotor?
The vein.
A vane.
Vane,
compressor.
exactly. What is a unit of measure equal to 0.00039 inches?
like
That's That's what they call 1 micron.
What is the adhesion of the gas or liquid to the surface of a porous material?
It's called absorption.
Absorption?
Adsorption.
Yep. And that's the kind of question, I won't ask that.
I hope not, because I probably won't remember that one.
What is a valve? What kind of valve is a valve that restricts or blocks downstream airflow?
Pressure regulator.
Pressure regulator.
Yep.
Regulator, right? Pressure regulator. What kind of device is a device that prevents excessive pressure from building up?
Safety valve.
Yep,
Safety.
safety relief.
What is it? What kind of test? Air compressor performance test that measures the percentage of time that a compressor runs to maintain a supply compressed air control system.
That'd be run time.
Run time. What kind of compressor consists of 2 air compressors and 2 electric motors and 1 common receiver?
That's a duplex air compressor.
Duplex. What kind of device is opened and closed manually to drain moisture from the receiver?
Manual drain.
Okay. So, let's see.
Are you going to test us on all these component parts?
Yes, eventually. I don't know about this one, but someday, yes.
I mean, like the breakdown parts of the filter, for example.
See this thing right here?
Yeah, you'll ask this, but you're not going to ask like this, are you?
No, I really hope to get to doing that
I mean, I know basically what they are, but not by memory, by no means.
Okay, yeah.
A guy once told me the things that you can look up, or, my brain can only hold so much information, so. Anything that's a matter of reference or whatever, don't try and remember that, because you can just remember where to look it up.
Here's the thing. I won't ask you guys to remember anything I can't remember. There's just too much to remember in this world.
Oh yeah, I mean.
So I have to look up. I still look up the calibration procedures sometimes for specific receiver controllers, and I look it up because I don't have to remember it anymore.
Well, like this drawing here, I can draw the lines.
Yeah.
But I couldn't necessarily name every single component.
Well, you know if it's a drain or
but
a
I know
filter.
there's filters and drains and all that stuff.
That's all you need to know. Okay, so you guys did really well on that. Some of the class that should have been here did not do so well on that. Okay, let's go to chapter 9.
Oh yeah, now on the section on 8 here.
Yeah.
So I got this one not correct, but I was going to ask you about that because I didn't get it correct because I actually didn't. I dropped. I didn't when I divided the 5 into 15.
Yeah.
I just put 0.3. I didn't carry the indefinite running threes.
Okay.
So I put 30%, which it would have actually been 33, which is what you wrote. That's why I didn't have 33. Because I only did to the first decimal. I rounded it, which probably shouldn't have because that is a difference.
Yeah, it's a difference. If I marked that wrong on a test and you made your case to me, I'd agree. Okay. All right.
However,
So let's go to number 9, chapter 9, the first couple. All right. There was some surprising amount of confusion on some of this, and I'll bet you guys aren't confused about it. All right. Spring range is the difference in pressure when an actuator shaft moves and stops.
That's true.
That's true. Okay, a normally closed valve allows fluid to flow when the valve is in the normal position.
False.
False. Steam valves are always two-way valves because steam does not require a return to the steam header.
That is true.
It's true. And 4, most air handling systems use normally open outside air dampers because the outside air causes excessive cold conditions in the winter and excessively hot, humid conditions in the summer.
If you guys got that one wrong, you're in trouble. That's false. All the way. It would be just the opposite, normally closed.
And in some conditions, they do have normally open in like really mild places that they have no freeze. But anyway, 99.9% of the time, that is false.
It would be a huge expense to heat air or cool it by just doing straight outside air.
If you had a place in the...
if you were in like Southern California or someplace where the average temperature is 70 degrees all the time, that might work.
It might, and there are some cases, but for the most part, nobody living here would do that. Okay, what is a flexible device that transmits the force of an incoming air pressure to the piston cup with the spring shaft assembly?
Yeah, that's a diaphragm.
Okay, what kind of blade dampers are the most common used in HVAC systems?
Parallel.
I said parallel.
It's parallel.
And the only reason I said that I actually didn't look that up in the book is because that's the most I've ever seen is parallel. I see them everywhere. I didn't see too many of the other
I think that's
types.
the right answer. Probably would. What's the answer there? It's multiple choice. Number two, they say it's parallel. I say it's parallel, they say it's parallel. I like opposed better for flow and stuff, but parallel are much cheaper to make and install. Okay, what kind of a valve is a three-way valve that has two inlets and one outlet?
Mixing.
We went through that. Mixing, that's correct. Okay, and what kind of a valve is a valve which flows through the valve is equal to the amount of the valve stroke?
That would be linear.
Linear. And what kind of valve, or what is the relationship between the minimum flow and the minimum controllable flow through the valve? Maximum flow and the minimum flow.
That's the turn down ratio.
Okay.
Is that A?
That's A. Where we at?
We're in the words now.
Okay. I'm going to do something here. All right. What kind of device accepts a signal from a controller that causes proportional mechanical action to occur?
That's the actuator.
Actuator. What kind of a device transfers the force generated by the air pressure against the diaphragm to the spring and shaft assembly? Piston cutter. Spring range what is a condition in which actuators with different spring ranges interfere with each other?
That's the overlap.
Overlap. Yep. And overlap and, yeah, people got confused, overlap and,
Well, overlap is easy because that's where two ranges overlap each other.
right. Now I'm blanking out. What's the other one? Overlap and
You had range and shift.
shift. People got overlap.
And the shift is just the change in,
Shift is the change in the actual running condition of that actuator.
so for example, if I have a damper that weighs 10 pounds, it might take, instead of 3 pounds to move it, it might take 4.
It may not be an issue of pounds. It's an issue of leverage.
I mean, weight or
Yeah.
perhaps the age, the push rod is not lubricated and it's starting to chafe and takes more pressure to move or something.
Yeah. They do wear, and they get they do get worn out. And at the end of you see the little bearings, the bushing bearings. They get worn out to the point where they're on the steel frame. Okay, where we at?
Damper, or number 4. Sorry.
What is an adjustable metal blade or set of blades used to control the flow of air? Damper. Okay, what is a device that controls the flow of fluids in the system?
Valve.
Okay. What do they say? Oh, they don't say that. That is funny. Oh, yeah. What kind of valve has two pipe connections?
Two-way.
Two-way.
Two-way. What kind of valve does not allow fluid to flow when the valve is in this normal position?
That'd be normally closed.
Normally closed. What is a valve component that consists of a metal shaft, normally made up of stainless steel, and transmits the force of the actuator to the valve plug? Valve stem.
Correct.
Okay.
Number 7 is one of your favorite questions.
I'm sorry, which one?
Number 7. Is it one of your favorite questions?
Number 7. What kind of valve does not allow fluid to flow?
Oh, it's the opposite of electrical. Electrical normally closed means it's on.
Yeah.
Fluids normally closed means it's not flowing. They're exact reverse. Trust me, I get those mixed up. Even still, and I've been doing this shit for 20 years.
Okay.
Although I'm getting much better at it.
What is a valve component? Oh, we already did that. What characteristics are the relationship between the valve stroke and flow through the valve?
Valve flow.
Mm-hmm.
Good enough. What is a bulk deformable material, or one or more mating deformable elements reshaped by manually adjust the bulk compression?
Isn't that a really complicated way to say packing?
I think it is. It reminds me of somebody who said that the definition of kissing is two orbicular mucous membranes juxtaposed in a state of contraction. And I mean, this is way more complicated. Okay, valve wet is performed when a valve is mechanically damaged or the internal parts are worn by foreign material or wire drawing.
rebuilding.
Yeah, we go.
Yes. And what, blank valve is a valve with a round plate and rotates to control flow.
Butterfly?
Butterfly?
That would be the butterfly.
Okay. Well, you guys did great on this. I'm not going to go through the packing stuff. It's not necessary. And I noticed most of you guys did the other one too, didn't you? Did the activities? Did you do the activities?
I didn't do them on this one.
Okay. So, I know Jason did, and then several other people
Oh,
did too.
is that, so that's what you're, okay. This is valves V1 and V2 normally open or normally closed, and why? I said they're normally open, and I put this unit is probably located in a cold climate. And you wrote fail-safe to heat, which makes sense.
It's on that.
Right.
Probably should have been a little more specific.
Valves are normally designed with a fail-safe in mind. What happens if it goes totally open? What happens, if you lose power or you lose pressure, what happens?
What state do you want it to be in?
What state do you want it to be in? Sometimes you don't want the steam valve to be wide open if it's serving a nursery or a chicken coop or something like that. Maybe it's better to have. I don't know that for a fact, but maybe it's better to have it open more. On a hot water system with a bunch of outside air, make a determination. Do you want that hot water? You have to fail safe. You want that hot water to keep going through that coil to keep it from freezing?
I'll tell you what, up in Alaska, you'll make that choice real easy. If you turn that hot water off, you'd rather be 80 degrees than frozen.
Yeah.
Because that's a quick decision.
So the fail-safe condition is an engineered decision on each valve, actually.
But then again, like if you lived in Florida, you might want the fail-safe and closed because you might want the air conditioner on because odds are it's going to be hot, not cold.
Depends on the test too.
Some of it.
So we're going through it.
We can go through it if you want. Chapter 10 kind of delineates between the first part of the course and the second part of the course. But yes, let's go through this. Okay. The bimetallic element in the pilot bleed thermostat acts like an amplifier. That's false.
That's false.
The bimetallic element in the pilot bleed is just a bleed. There's no amplifier on the single pipe.
No, that would be a relay, or a, what would they call it?
You have a two-pipe thermostat, it's different. Summer winter thermostats have two bimetallic elements.
True.
That's true. We didn't get through that yet, but we'll get to it. A dual duct air handling unit supplies both hot and cold air to a sheet metal mixing box.
True.
It's true. All pneumatic thermostats operate the same basic principle.
True.
True. The only use for a bleed-type thermostat is in the light dropper application.
False.
False. Pilot bleed thermostats are superior to bleed-type thermostats because of the higher main air capacity.
Pilot bleed?
Yes. Pilot bleed.
Oh, yes, true. That's very true. It's the bleed type that are the low capacity.
Okay. It's a pilot.
But the pilot bleed is true. They are superior to bleed type.
But
As a matter of
pipe-
fact, in the book, it says they can use those instead of the bleed type. They can use the pilot bleed type
Sure,
in
there's
place.
buildings all over where they converted single pipe to two pipe for the quicker reaction. Okay, during the day, a day-night thermostat set point is usually about 72 degrees.
True.
Most common way to mount a humidistat is wall mounted.
I put false on that because it,
But I think it's false.
Why?
Because it's a-
Where would you mount it?
well, you can mount it in the ductwork. You can mount it all over the place. But I think the ductwork would give you much better reading.
The most common way, I think, is on a duct, so I think that's false. But they do both. It's not uncommon at all to have a humidistat on the wall.
I mean, I read the book, and the book had mentioned about it being in a duct, but it didn't say anything about a wall mount. So
Yeah,
It mentioned about the thermostat on the wall.
it said the thermostat, but not the humidistat.
Yeah, but,
So-
So I think, not sure.
okay, so pneumatic humidistats are available in both one-pipe and two-pipe versions.
That's true.
It's true. And bleed ports are calibrated in exactly the same method as a single temperature pilot bleed two-pipe thermostat.
I think I said true on that,
I think it's true.
but
It's just gobbledygook.
I think I put a question mark by it.
Yeah, no, they're just trying to confuse you with words. No, bleed ports are not calibrated.
Or no,
Bleed
maybe I
ports are
said false.
Thermostat's calibrated.
I have to go back and look. I don't even remember.
The answer's false.
The answer's false.
Okay, multiple choice. What is a sensing device that consists of two different metals joined together?
Bimetallic element.
Yep. That's right. Bimetallic. 2, a thermostat changes the air pressure to a valve damper actuator by changing the amount of air that expelled to atmosphere. What kind of thermostat is that?
A, wait, start.
I'm sorry?
A.
Bleed
The
type.
bleed type.
Yeah, it's a bleed type. Either a pilot bleed or standard bleed.
That's actually a tricky question.
Yeah, they kind of like to screw with us in some of these.
Okay, number 3. A wet thermostat is a pneumatic thermostat that has a third air connection piped to either a manual air regulator or an outside air transmitter.
That's a master submaster.
Master submaster. A winter-summer thermostat is a wet kind of thermostat that changes the set point and action of the thermostat from the winter heating to the summer cooling.
Deadband.
Mild bleed.
Or it could be a deadband pneumatic.
The deadband pneumatic.
Yeah, pilot bleed.
God, I wish I'd looked at my paper. I wish I had my paper still.
Okay. Wet element in a pneumatic humidistat accepts moisture from or rejects moisture to the surrounding air.
Oh, that's a hygroscopic. Not that one. A.
Not hydropic,
No.
hydroscopic. Yeah. What is a flat piece of metal to which the thermostat components are mounted?
Base plate. Would be B.
Good enough for me. 7. What kind of thermostats are commonly located in the discharge of the heating coil and set at a minimum temperature to protect the coil or the system?
Sorry.
Nope, that's a limit.
It's a limit thermostat.
It's a limit.
And it could totally be a direct acting limit thermostat. But it's a
Although
limit
I would,
thermostat. Yeah, the most appropriate answer to that is limit. Limit thermostats.
well, limit could be direct acting or reverse acting, but
Usually direct acting.
But-
Yes, yeah, increasing temperature, we call it increasing temperature pressure. So as the temperature gets down below 30 degrees or whatever, it lets the pressure off to retract your dampers. Okay, let's see, where are we at? 8? What kind of pneumatic thermostat is the thermostat that allows no heating or cooling to take place between two temperatures?
Sorry. Deadband.
Deadband. Those things are real popular in the 70s, where you set your set point at, like, say, 68 or whatever, and there's like a 4-degree deadband in there before the cooling starts.
that just completely makes sense.
It does. And so the government buildings were the first to put it in, the government buildings were the first to take it out. All right, completion. What kind of thermostat uses change in compressed air to control the temperature in individual rooms inside a controlled commercial building?
Pneumatic. Bleed type. Pneumatic.
Let's see.
Yep, lead type is a pneumatic thermostat. I think I'd say,
It's probably bleed type, right?
no, I think it's, I don't know, I think it's pneumatic.
Because I put on number 9, I put pneumatic.
That's- Yeah, it's pneumatic. I mean, it's a definition of pneumatic. You guys can see it.
You can't see the question. Is it number 1 on the bottom there?
There's number 1 on the bottom. Let's see if I can get it up here.
Blank pressure.
Sorry. Number 2. What
Oh.
kind of pressure is the pressure in a line that is piped from the thermostat to the control device?
That's
Branch line
branch.
pressure, yes. 3. What kind of application is an application which the thermostat is located in the return air slot integral to a light fixture?
Oh, that's the light troffer.
Troffer, right.
Troffer.
Light filter.
Uh-huh. Okay, where are we at? What is a fixed orifice that meters airflow through a port and allows fine output pressure adjustments and precise control, circuit control?
Restrictor.
Okay. 5. What kind of thermostat increases the branch line pressure as the building space temperature increases and decreases the branch line pressure as the building space decreases?
Reverse
Direct.
acting?
First act.
Who says reverse?
Direct.
Who says direct?
Direct.
Direct is the answer.
Direct is increase in temperature equals increase in pressure. Reverse is increase in temperature equals it's
There's
opposite.
a direct relationship between temperature and pressure.
So an increase in temperature equals a decrease in pressure on a reverse acting.
Jesse, are you good?
Yeah.
You understand?
Well, I knew that, but the way I read it, I don't know why I put reverse acting.
Okay. What is used to override a thermostat to the day temperature during the night mode?
The outer number?
Yeah.
That's number 6. That's a silly question.
Well, actually anymore, they just have a button that says,
What is it?
It's just a lever, the day night lever.
Oh,
I've not ever seen one that's
Changeover
air.
mechanism.
I've seen them, all electric now that do that.
Well, they do, but
And you
this
just
is
have
pneumatic.
occupied, unoccupied, and whatever the hell
Right.
the other button
And the
is.
pneumatic version of that is, there's a lever that goes from day to night. Okay. What is the range between two temperatures in which no heating or cooling takes place? We already did that, didn't
Yeah.
Dead man.
we? Okay, yeah. What are we on?
Oh, there's a duplicate question down here. You're gonna get one that's the same. It's,
Did we do the order? I'm sorry.
Number 7.
Number 7. What is the range between two temperatures? Okay, we already did that.
That's a dead band, isn't it?
yeah.
The dead band, yes, it's the dead band. Number 8, what is an orifice that allows a small volume of air to be expelled to the atmosphere? Bleed port.
Bleed port.
Bleed ports are integral, both have both one pipe and two pipe thermostats.
Number 9?
What is a controller that uses compressed air to open or close a device which maintains certain humidity levels?
It's humidistat.
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 Yes, humidistat. Okay, what is a controller that maintains a constant pressure in a duct or area?
Pneumatic pressure switch.
Yeah,
I think I just wrote pressure switch.
pressure switch is fine. I would say, static pressure switch. Precise, I guess. What is a thermostat? What kind of thermostat is a pneumatic thermostat that maintains a temperature above or below an adjustable set point?
Hold on, we got
That's
that
a,
at
that's a
10?
nebulous. What they're looking for is single set point.
Can I go to 11?
The therm maintains a temperature above
11
or
is a
below.
single set point.
Oh, wow, you must got a different book or
Oh,
something.
excuse me. Is this, what's your book say?
It says 11, a blank relay causes the operation of the thermostat to change between two or more modes such as day or night.
Yeah,
That's a changeover.
yeah.
Relay.
We've had some differences in some of these books.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this one right here, the thermostat at night that maintains a temperature above or below an adjustable set point. Okay, that would be more like a limit thermostat.
Yeah, so mine does the same thing as some, the relay.
You guys swap? Yeah.
Okay, that's a
Doesn't matter.
changeover. So that's a changeover relay.
Yeah,
Here,
yours
let
is
me
changed.
Yours is the changeover, and then I'm like feeling dumb, and I'm like, oh no.
You said number 11's a limit relay?
Yeah, it's a limit thermostat.
Yeah.
So what is it? What is that?
Depends on what question you have. Is this the question you have on number 11?
Yeah.
Then that's a limit.
Lemon.
It's a thermostat that maintains temperature above or below an adjustable set point. So if the system says we want 55 degrees,
12,
but your limit set is 60, it will keep it
maintains a temperature
below, it'll
above
keep
or
it at that
below
60.
an
instead
adjustable
of
set.
55.
Oh, okay. On theirs, that's number 12.
Put a limit thermostat.
Number 12, yeah. So number 12 in this book is number 11. So that's limit. Number 13.
So just go by the,
Okay, number 13 is the same,
That's the set point.
and that's a set point. Or I'm sorry, number 13 is number 12. Blank is the desired value to be maintained by a system. That's a set point.
okay, number 12 is the desired value to be maintained by the system. That is set point.
Okay, let's see. Number 14 here says a thermostat is a blank thermostat is a pilot lead thermostat that has one set point year round for a building space or area.
Single
Single
temperature set point.
set point.
Yeah, single temperature set point. And then number 15 says a blank relay is a relay that causes the operation of the thermostat to change between two or more modes such as day-night.
Changeover relay.
And that's a changeover relay.
There you go. We don't need to go over summer winter thermostats because I'm
So
not.
what's number 11 then?
That goes into next.
And the relay operation.
Oh, that was,
Changeover.
change
15 and 11 are the same.
over relay.
Okay, so on the last page, we're talking about pilot lead, single temperature thermostat calibration. Again, what's the first thing you do?
Adjust.
Turn off the power.
No, the first thing you do is take the cover off, guys. Come on. You can't do nothing with the cover on it.
What
Okay.
area?
So H.
I'm on the last page of 9.
Turn the power off.
I'm not going through two day-night thermostats and limit thermostats, because we haven't covered it sufficiently yet. So I'm going on the last page, this one right here.
So A would be,
You got it. Oh,
let's
we
see.
gotta fly here.
Number 1 would be,
A is 6.
no, it would be H for number 1. The cover-
A is number 3.
Yeah, correct. B is number 4.
B is number 4.
And then 8 is number
Wait a minute. What's, say that again.
A is number 3. B is number 4.
And then 8 is C.
C is 8.
E is 6.
Yep.
Yes. And then E is
1.
yes. And then F,
Is 5.
yes.
Okay.
And then G,
7.
G would be.
yes. And then H would be, yeah,
Two.
we got it.
All right. So this is what you got to know. I mean, that's why do that? Why do that? First thing you do, you calibrate the thermostat.
Take the cover off. We'll just skip that one. Put your gauge and measure the temperature.
The first thing you do is determine what?
The
Or
spring.
your calibration.
First thing you do is get your calibration pressure, figure out what that is. The second thing you do is assuming your cover's off.
Sure.
Measure the pressure. Measure the temperature.
Okay. Measure the temperature. The third thing you do,
Measure the pressure.
set temp
It's temp.
Oh, okay.
72, right?
to
No, to the
Ambient.
ambient.
Oh, yeah.
To ambient temperature. So you first off,
set.
so what's the first step?
Calibrate.
Oh, what's your calibration pressure?
Oh, okay, calibration pressure.
Pressure.
Then you measure your ambient temperature. Then you set your temperature. Then you set the dial to the ambient.
Set your dial to the ambient.
And then you measure your pressure,
Okay.
your branch pressure.
Then
And then after you've measured your branch pressure, then you
Calculate.
Check the branch.
you check your
you check it against what your calibration pressure is.
yes. And if they match, then it
Adjust
should be
branch
fine. And
pressure.
if they don't, then you adjust the branch pressure to match. And then you test you change your
Move the set point.
you change your set points to verify that you get repeatability. And then once you get
Put on cover. Okay.
yeah. I don't know why the cover part's so stupid because everybody should
Nobody
have
needs to
take
know
the
that.
cover off.
I won't ask you to put the cover on. If you did the other ones right, I don't care. I mean, there's some things that we can assume.
That'd be kind of crappy though. You'd leave a house with the cover off.
So you figure out your
This is-
calibration pressure, you measure your ambient, you set your temperature, your dial to ambient, you check your branch line pressure, and you calibrate it. You check it to your calibration, you adjust it accordingly, you set your dial, and you check for repeatability to make sure that the thing is actually going to maintain it and continue to repeat, get the same thing. And then you put the cover back on and you put a done stamp on it.
That's it. Good job, guys.